Let's get this sports podcast party started, all right?
The JAYREELZ podcast.
I didn't watch a lot of the Steeler game there on Monday night because I was engrossed in the Yankee-Dodger game, but I did watch bits and pieces. They had plenty of opportunities in the first half. They had a touchdown called back by a penalty. They had another touchdown that was there, but a bad pass by Russell Wilson, and it was 9-6, 9-9. And then the punt return by Calvin Austin to the house, that turned it around. And then Russell Wilson had a very good game, efficient with his passing and yardage. And the Steelers, although they had to sweat it out there later on, but the strip sack there from TJ Watt, what else is new? They had 4 sacks on Daniel Jones. They got run roughshod there by Tyrone Tyler, I believe. And that certainly kept them in the game. But the Steelers went on the win. They're 6-2. But I have to say, they are 6-2. And they go into a bye, much needed. And they did what they had to do. They could have been 7-1 when you think about it, because if they were able to get a 4th down stop against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, they'd be 7-1 right now. But that goes with a grain of salt. And I have to say that as a diehard Steeler fan. Because who have they beaten along the way? All right, you can say they beat a Falcon team that's, I don't want to say so-so. They're solid. Solid team in the NFC. And I get they have a winning record and they're in first place. But that was all the way back in week 1. They beat the lowly Giants. They beat the lowly Jets. They beat the lowly Raiders. They lost to the Colts. That was their other loss, where they were down 17-0, had to come all the way back and made it interesting, but they ended up losing. They beat a Charger team that probably is on the same level as the Atlanta Falcons. They beat teams, and they may have beaten a Bronco team that looks good on paper, but it was week 2 where Bo Nix was still pretty much had the training wheels on, where now he's been a little bit better since. So I get it. I could be ecstatic. I could be pumped up. I could be, hey, we're in first place. Hey, I got to keep it real with you guys. If this was 6-2 and they beat the teams that they're going to face in the second half, different story. And I know I've said this podcast after podcast after podcast, but they better get rested up, because here are their last 9 games. You ready for this, people? And this is off the top of my head. They have the Commanders out of the gate in Washington. They host Baltimore. They go to Cleveland. They go to Cincinnati. They play the Browns again. They go to Philadelphia. They play at Baltimore. They host Kansas City. And their final game, I believe, is Cincinnati at home. Now, I get it. The 2 games against Cincinnati, the Browns, you can say, oh, JAYREELZ, you're going to win at least 3 out of 4. Let's see what you do against the Ravens. Well, as we know, division games aren't easy. Just ask the Ravens just this past week when they went to Cleveland. So they have a gauntlet of a schedule. Let's see what happens here as I close out the NFL.